Hi, Jesus. I thought I'd read some more inspiration, Lord. I get great satisfaction anymore from just reading and thinking about the things that you talked with this woman about. And I know that I've sent you so many times throughout my day, and I can see that the more we practice, the more we'll be able to do that on a continual level. And here's the first inspiration. I am training you in steadiness. Too many things interrupt your awareness of me. I know that you live in a world of sight and sound, but you must not be a slave to those stimuli. Awareness of me can continue in all circumstances, no matter what happens. This is the steadiness I desire for you. Don't let unexpected events throw you off course. Rather, respond calmly and confidently, remembering that I am with you. As soon as something grabs your attention, talk with me about it. Thus, I share your joys and your problems. I help you cope with whatever is before you. This is how I live in you and work through you. This is the way of peace. And Bible support for those words comes from Psalm 112, verse 7, Isaiah 41, verse 10. Peace, and here's another. Peace is my continual gift to you. It flows abundantly from my throne of grace. Just as the Israelites could not store up manna for the future, but had to gather it daily, so it is with my peace. The day-by-day collecting of manna kept my people aware of their dependence on me. Similarly, I give you sufficient peace for the present when you come to me by prayer and petition with thanksgiving. If I gave you permanent peace, independent of my presence, you might fall into the trap of self-sufficiency. May that never be. I have designed you to need me moment by moment. As your awareness of your neediness increases, so does your realization of my abundant sufficiency. I can meet every one of your needs without draining my resources at all. Approach my throne of grace with bold confidence, receiving my peace with a thankful heart. And words and Bible support for that is from Exodus 16, verses 14 and 20, Philippians 4, verses 6 and 7, and 19, Hebrews 4, verse 16. I love you, regardless of how well you are performing. Sometimes you feel uneasy, wondering if you are doing enough to be worthy of my love. No matter how exemplary your behavior, the answer to that question will always be no. Your performance and my love are totally different issues, which you need to sort out. I love you with an everlasting love that flows out from eternity with no limits or conditions. I have clothed you in my robe of righteousness, and that is an eternal transaction. Nothing and no one can reverse it. Therefore, your accomplishment as a Christian has no bearing on my love for you. Even your ability to access how well you are doing on a given day is flawed. Your limited human perspective and the condition of your body with its mercurial variations distorts your evaluations. Bring your performance anxiety to me and receive in its place my unfailing love. Try to stay conscious of my loving presence with you in all that you do, and I will direct your steps. The Bible support for that is from Jeremiah 31, verse 3, Isaiah 61, verse 10, Psalm 31, verse 16, Psalm 107, verse 8. And here's another. Do not be afraid, for I am with you. Hear me saying, peace be still, to your restless heart. No matter what happens, I will never leave you or forsake you. Let this assurance soak into your mind and heart until you overflow with joy. Though the earth give way and the mountains fall into the heart of the sea, you need not fear. The media relentlessly proclaim bad news for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. A steady diet of their fare will sicken you. Instead of focusing on fickle, ever-changing news broadcasts, tune in to the living Word, the one who is always the same. Let Scripture saturate your mind and heart, and you will walk steadily along the path of life. Even though you don't know what will happen tomorrow, you can be absolutely sure of your ultimate destination. I hold you by the right hand, and afterward I will take you to glory. The Bible support for that is from Mark 4, verse 39, Deuteronomy 31, verse 6, Psalm 46, verse 2, and Psalm 73, verse 23 and 24. Here's another. Let me control your mind. The mind is the most restless, unruly part of mankind. Long after you have learned the discipline of holding your tongue, your thoughts defy your will and set themselves up against me. Man is the pinnacle of my creation, and the human mind is wondrously complex. I risked all by granting you freedom to think for yourself. This is a godlike privilege, forever setting you apart from the animals and the robots. I made you in my image, precariously close to deity. Though my blood has fully redeemed you, your mind is the last bastion of rebellion. Open yourself to my radiant presence, letting my light permeate your thinking. When my spirit is controlling your mind, you are filled with life and peace. And first Bible support for this is from Genesis 1, verses 26 and 27, and Romans 8, verse 6. We just covered that Genesis last night. Last night at Bible study. Here's another. Listen to me continually. I have much to communicate to you. So many people and situations in need of prayer. I am training you to set your mind on me more and more, tuning out distractions through the help of my Spirit. Walk with me in holy trust, responding to my initiatives rather than trying to make things fit to your plans. I died to set you free, and that includes freedom from compulsive planning. When your mind spins with a multitude of thoughts, you cannot hear my voice. A mind preoccupied with planning pays homage to the idol of control. Turn from this idolatry back to me, listen to me, and live abundantly. The Bible support is from John 8, verse 36, Proverbs 19, verse 21, John 10, verse 27. There's another. Keep your eyes on me, not only for the direction, but also for empowerment. I never lead you to do something without equipping you for the task. That is why it's so important to seek my will in everything you do. There are many burned out Christians who think more is always better, who deem it unspiritual to say no. In order to know my will, you must spend time with me, enjoying my presence. This is not an onerous task, but a delightful privilege. I will show you the path of life. In my presence is fullness of joy. At my right hand there are pleasures forevermore. The Bible support from Psalm 141, verse 8, Psalm 16, verse 11. And one more. Rest in the stillness of my presence while I prepare you for this day. Let the radiance of my glory shine upon you as you wait on me in confident trust. Be still and know that I am God. There is both a passive and an active side to trusting me. As you rest in my presence, focusing on me, I quietly build bonds of trust between us. When you respond to the circumstances of your life with affirmations of trust, you actually participate in this process. I am always with you, so you have no reason to be afraid. Your fear often manifests itself in excessive planning. Your mind is so accustomed to this pattern of thinking that you are only now becoming aware of how pervasive it is and how much it hinders your intimacy with me. Repent of this tendency and resist it whenever you realize you are wandering down this well-worn path. Return to my presence, which always awaits you in the present moment. I accept you back with no condemnation. And Bible supports Psalm 46, verse 10, and Romans 8, verse 1. Wonderful inspiration, Lord. Thank you so much. Thank Sarah for publishing her journal, which is a pretty private matter between her, but I'm sure you inspired her and said, this is what you wanted. She wouldn't have put it out there. And I think it's been so helpful to me, and I thank you for guiding me to it. And I keep telling people they need to read this. Of course, I'd rather see, each person's different, so you're going to inspire those people that need what they need in their lives. But I thank you for this in my life anyway. This is wonderful stuff for me. And my brother Anthony in Providence, I think you'd really enjoy this book, man. Great book. Tell him. Takes all those things that God Calling said just up another notch, and explains so many more details. And how we really need to live with the Spirit of the Lord. People aren't doing it. They just don't live that way. What he's saying, the world has so twisted all our minds into these routines and technology and all that. Not to say that the Lord doesn't use that. It brings good out of it too, because he does. But a lot of times the planning is, we all do this planning, and he's right. Our minds are just programmed that way. And he's trying to unprogram it through this book, and I'm sure the scriptures, of course. But this is great, clear writing. I enjoy it. Okay, I'm going to put this up on the internet and probably get some sleep. I've got put on my plate this meeting tomorrow, Lord, and whatever else you got tomorrow. I thank you for today, though. This is how it works with the Lord. When I'm walking with him, I came out of the car, I looked across the street, and I saw this guy who was leaning over one of the trash buckets on the sidewalk. And he looked, I was a little concerned. I didn't know if he was, having some chest pains or whatever. He was really tired. It was very hot out there. So he finally picked himself and he stood up and walked down up the street. So I didn't do anything. I had some groceries I had to take upstairs to our apartment. So when I get up there, I had to go out and again to pick something else up real quick just down the street. And I went out and I went up the street and looked for him just to see if maybe I could give him a ride if he was feeling okay. And he was picking up trash, picking up aluminum out of the buckets that people have put in their trash buckets. But he was sitting on that. It was really hot, so I went to the store to get the stuff I needed, and I bought a thing of water and took it up and walked over and gave it to him. And I knew that that's why that situation had occurred. It was for me the Lord to use me to give him a drink of water. And I thanked him, of course. But that's how it works each day. And that's just one thing that happens. Throughout the day as I'm doing stuff, maybe singing a song, maybe cooking something, or working with Judy, or going someplace with the Lord's messages I look at the situation and he pops right out of it. And might be a Bible verse, might be just I can see the relationship between what that's happening and what he's saying in this book. Or it's just the way it is. It's the way it happens. And I think that's, as I read this book, that's the way he wants us. We're always with him. He's always with us. Even when we don't even think he's with us. He's always with us. Never leaves us. Never has left us. Always was here. Right? He followed the children right out of Egypt into the desert. Gave them manna. And he said in the book, even after he did all these miracles, after a bit, they started mistrusting him. I mean, I don't know what I would have done if I was living in those times, because you don't know, but how could you not understand that? You'd have to have, I don't know, if you saw that stuff falling out of the sky in the middle of the desert, you'd have to go, whoa, this guy really loves us. He's feeding us in the desert. It's so great. It had to do it every day to show them, you need to have me every day in your life. And then, even if they start grumbling and complaining about things, come on. I know. They did it, so, and, you have to feel, I do it. Sometimes I feel sorry for the Lord, and I do, Lord. I know how much you love us, and I know, that you are the all, and the beginning and the end, and forever. And you want everybody to know that, and I know how much you want them to know that. So, shape me into what you need to help do that, without me thinking I got any part of it, because I don't. So, we'll go from there. And I thank you. That's all I can do. Sit there and thank. All right, have a great night, and I'll see you probably tomorrow, but I'll put this up tonight. Hopefully I read it, and listen, view it anyway. But Anthony, God bless you, brother. Get the book, Anthony, get the book. Have a great night. Thank you for being my love, Jesus.